All right, today we're going to do a little exploration about the numbers from 1 to 100. We're going to just explore what we notice. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be looking at patterns of 3. So we're just going to take our pen and color in our 3s. And it doesn't need to be perfect. So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And there's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so you're just going to keep doing this pattern, counting by 3s, coloring them in, and over time you might start to notice some patterns emerging. And we're just going to keep working on our 3s here. 1, 2, 3. And again, they don't need to be perfect. 1, 2, 3. And you might see a pattern that's emerging as we continue color coding here. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And some of you might not go as fast as I go. I've had some practice at this one. And that's fine. It's not a race. And it's helpful to just keep counting those 1, 2, 3s. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're getting towards the end here. A lot of 3s in here, huh? All right, and 99. And so that was all of our 3s. And you might notice some patterns that are emerging there. Okay, so that was our first colored pencil. We're going to try to find a bunch of patterns in here. So here's our next pattern. So now we're going to work on 4s. And we're just making a square rectangle around the 4 because it has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just counting by 4s. And every time I get over 4, I just draw a little square around it. And I'm just counting by 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not in a hurry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I'm going faster than you are, that's okay. You'll catch up. And we're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe a pattern will emerge for this one too. Maybe you'll see a pattern that emerges when we do these 4s as well. Sort of kind of looks like a diagonal, but or maybe you see different patterns. I had some students who liked chess. They saw some patterns in there as well. Okay, so here we are. Gotten all of our 4s in there. Wow, there's a lot of 4s in there, aren't there? A lot of 4s. Okay, here's what we're going to do next. Now we're going to do our 5s. And for 5, we're going to use a circle. And so now we can see some patterns in our 5s. It's interesting, the 3s and the 4s were sort of going diagonal. But my 5s, they go straight up and down. That's sort of interesting. And then I've got 5s over here too, don't I? Because 10 is also divisible by 5. Oh, this is interesting. Now I can start to see some numbers that are by both. So like 60, it's 3 and 4 and 5. Well, that's interesting. It's 3 and 4 and 5. So we're just circling everything that is by 5s. So now we have some more patterns that we can see. I think 8s are kind of interesting as well. So we're going to do something with 8s. We're going to do this. We're going to give them 8 lines. So now we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now go see if you can find all of the 8s that are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh wow, this is 8 and a 5 together. Interesting. And here's my next 8. My next 8. This is interesting. This sort of goes this way. It's like, oh, and then 80. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And then 88. That makes sense. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now we've got lots of numbers. We've got 3s and 4s and 5s and 8. I want to do 9. Let's do 9 next. 9 is kind of fun. It's sort of like, it's like 3 9s. It's like 3 3s in there. So I'm going to show that by this. I'm going to put just 3 dots, kind of in a triangle. And notice that the 9s are just right down here. Look at this. Just like goes right down this little, sort of an interesting pattern here. And we've got our 9s going all the way down here. And there's one right over there. And then right here. Look at that. Now we've got all of our 9s in some patterns here. All right, let's go back and do something with 7. Now 7 is an unusual number. It doesn't have a lot of the same kind of patterns, and I'm going to use 7 heaven. So we're just going to draw a little sky above all of the 7s. All right, here's all of our 7s. So just a little bit of a sky on top of all of our 7s. And if you need to find your 7s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so this is 7 times 8. Oh, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 7 times 9. And here's 7 times 10. And 77. And 84. And 7 more. 91. And 7 more. 84. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there, 98. Now we have done 3s and 4s and 5s and 7 and 8 and 9. The one that we haven't done yet, it's 2, because it's so many different places. So we're just going to do 2 lines for the one that are 2. Well, 4 we've already done. So we're just looking for whenever it is that it's an even that we haven't already done. Oh, that's interesting. 9 times 2. That's already got the even because it's got the box around it. Oh, 2 times 11. There we go. 28. Oh, 30. That's 10 times 3. A lot of them already have this. Some of them don't. Like 42. because it's 6 times 7. Just looking for all of the evens. So when we're done with this, what we're going to have is a lot of numbers with markings on them, and some numbers that don't have markings on them. We'll explain what those mean in a moment. Okay. And we're done. Wow. Okay. All of these numbers, if it has a marking on it, right? If it's got multiple of these markings, those are called composite numbers. Composite numbers. It means that they're made up of other numbers, composite numbers. So when they aren't, like this one, 11 or 13 or 17 or 23 or 29 or 31 or 37, we ask ourselves, these are special kind of numbers. They have a name. They're called prime numbers. And prime numbers are only divisible by 1 and themselves. And you'll see that a lot of numbers are divisible by 3 or by 2. There's our last prime number. So now we have explored composite numbers and prime numbers, and hopefully this has helped you develop a little bit of understanding about numbers.